What goes into a game like this for you in terms of mentality and like focusing on a bunch of little dirty work kind of things?
Just doing anything I can help to help my team win.
Miles Turner, season high in scoring tonight. Rick just talked about Ty with you when you're getting trapped like that. To have him be such an option inside and out is so valuable. How have you felt that kind of connection grow, especially as the defensive pressure on you has changed throughout the season?
Yeah, I mean, I think that a team like Dallas, they were living with that shot. They were blitzing, trusting that they had the weak side rotation and, living with the mid-range two from Miles, and he makes that a consistent clip. So we just kept going at it the whole third quarter, basically. We just didn't really run much, just a lot of high pick and roll and play out of that. I think just allowing, I think that just sometimes my gravity, bringing two guys off, and then having guys like Ben and Miles and Pascal and Drew and all the other guys we have on our roster to make plays out of it. And I think that, the first time that we saw this was against LA in the in the tournament, and then now teams have been starting to do that against us more consistently. So we've had some good experience with it, throughout this year.
Do you have him have any sort of signal on popping versus rolling? Does he make the call when there's space? Do you tell him where you think is better? How does that all work out? It's
just feel. It's just feel. It's just growing chemistry together, understanding who the low man is. Sometimes when it's a bigger dude. As the low man, then he might not roll as much. But if it's a guard, like it was a lot today, then we want him to roll because he can create a seal. And then if we play off the skip, then that causes confusion. So it's really just feel depending on how the game is going.
Just to kind of stick on Miles for a second, I mean, how great of a luxury is it to have a guy that has that option and that he can score at all three levels, basically as a big, can hit the mid-range, can hit the three, can get to the rim like that. When you've got that in your pocket when you're playing on the pick-and-roll game, just how important is it to have that variety?
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun, really interesting for me, just because when I first came to the league playing with Rashawn Holmes, I envisioned my perfect pairing just being a lob big, just a guy who played above the rim, set screens and roll, like guys like Daniel Gafford, guys like that. And so playing with Miles has been interesting because that's not really what he does. He's not a lob guy. He pops. He's a good finisher. He's got good hands. So, that's been the interesting part in growing our relationship and our team, teamwork on the court. So it's been interesting, but I couldn't imagine it being any different. Like it's such a plus that you don't think of until you have it, and I couldn't imagine not having a big that could space the floor like that. So it really helps me.
Ben, I want to go back to just guarding Luka. I mean, just what was it like just kind of growing through that assignment through the course of the game? What did you kind of have to figure out about learning how to defend him, and how do you feel like you got better over the course of the game?
Just pretty much, he's a great player, so pretty much just adjusting to knowing who he is, knowing that he has second and third moves, thrust moves. So pretty much just trying to stay down on pump fakes, and knowing his game.
Do you feel like you got a lot better at that as far as just not playing into, I guess, the second and third moves? I mean, what did you have to do to?
For sure. I think in the first quarter he got me once, Kyrie got me once. So pretty much adjusting, knowing who they are, like I said, just playing hard.
What obviously, when you hit shots, obviously that kind of works on both sides of the floor, builds your confidence up. How big was it for you to knock a couple down? How much do you think that helped you on both sides of the floor?
I'm gonna be honest. I went in the game, just minding on defense. I was, given the assignment, to help, and contain as much as I can, Luka and Kyrie, and I just feel like, Ty told me I just have to, to let the game come to me. So pretty much that was the second thing, but trying to keep the game simple.
Obviously, Drew's been dealing with injuries for most of this year, and it seems like it's taken a while to find some offensive rhythm. Tonight, though, he's 7 of 8. It looks like he's starting to find out his shot, figure out kind of what he's doing on that end. Obviously, played pretty good defense. How have you seen him just grow, especially lately, as he's gotten back into good health?
Yeah, I think that, obviously what Drew did last year, starting basically the whole year, as a rookie, he wasn't really expected to play. And then coming into this year where the role was kind of undefined as the backup point guard and now moving back to what he was doing last year, and that's playing guard, starting guard with me, I think has been interesting for him. And I think it's just about gaining his rhythm. Like you said, he's been hurt, dealing with some back stuff, all that stuff. And now that he's fully healthy, I think that he's been playing really well. Defensively, he does what he does. That's not that's not going to change game to game. But I think just like any NBA player, all it comes down to is just a confidence thing. Like, that can separate people, and I think that's why it's allowing him to play so well right now. He just has a lot of confidence in his game, a lot of swagger to his game, and I think that's allowing him to be so successful as of late.
Can you both kind of speak to Shepard had some really big shots tonight. Speak to just his growth, the growth that you've seen over the course of the season from him.
Yeah, I think that the game is just slowing down for him a little bit. Not anything crazy, but I do think that he's starting to come into his own a little bit. I think that the G League experience has helped him a lot. Just gaining confidence. And I think we're all always on him just to look at the rim. Like, sometimes he's just playing at 150 miles an hour and he's running up and down the floor and never even looks at the hoop. So you even saw it today on his first catch in the corner. Kyrie didn't even put his hand up, and I don't even think Shep even knew. He didn't even look at the rim. So I think for him it's just keeping his confidence there. And everything else will fall into play. But I think for him, it's just maintaining, if he's playing, if he's not playing, whatever the case is on a night-to-night basis, just locking in, paying attention, and being ready when his number is called. And I think that him and Jarris can both relate there, to be ready when their number is called. And a lot of the other guys who aren't playing right now, just be ready when it's called, because we got a very deep bench, and injuries and all that stuff happen throughout the course of a year.
Ben, when Coach was in here earlier, he said this game was all about your grit. I asked you, since you're in the thick of it, you get 11 rebounds tonight. I mean, what does it take to show that grit? I mean, day in and day out in the NBA, knowing you're playing teams like Dallas, they're going to give you a punch down the stretch and kind of make it close, even when you have a little bit of a gap there.
Sure. I mean, I think the main thing is to never let up. They're a great team. They won 7 in a row before coming over here. And we have a goal. So pretty much just trying to stick to it. And I mean, the main thing for me is just, trying to help the team win, trying to do it, everything I can, and just sticking to the plan.